In today's video, we continue our coverage on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's such a cool time to be a Marvel fan, to be a DC fan, but in today's video, we're predominantly going to be talking about the future of the MCU and how Spider-Man is going to have a huge future in the MCU. So, if you are new around here, make subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to cover personally on a daily basis. Could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know what are you most looking forward to going forward with the pop culture space. Also, if you could, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also check us out on our smallest platform, which is actually Twitter, WarstuG over there. And also WWarstu on TikTok. I'm going to start posting on there very soon. Just scares me because I've got to come on camera. So let's break it down. So there's some pretty cool news going forward. Obviously, you can never confirm and verify it, but apparently we know Avengers Doomsday is set to start shooting early 2025, but apparently Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland headlining that movie, apparently they are basically going to be filming back-to-back or basically at the same time. The information is very sketchy, so we don't know if it just means they're both going to start shooting early or if they're going to start shooting together. So also, there's some pretty cool new information going around, but there's some caveat here. So a Twitter account called Exile Scooper 3 posted this, and then one of the biggest Twitter scoopers basically copied what they said 20 hours after they posted it and added a bit more context, which is a weird thing to do. So Avengers Doomsday will be building to an epic emotional showdown confrontation between Doctor Doom and Spider-Man. Marvel wants the focus to be on Spider-Man and Doctor Doom relationship arc. Unfortunately, Reed and Doom will barely interact, or their rivalry will be lightly downplayed. Now, I don't know whether to believe this or not, because this is from an unverified scooper, but again, the verified, trusted scooper gets a lot of stuff wrong. So basically, everyone said since the reveal back in July at San Diego Comic-Con that it's going to be such an emotional moment when Robert Downey Jr. is obviously playing Doctor Doom, faces Tom Holland Spider-Man, because, Tom Holland Spider-Man was the closest in the MCU to Tony Stark, and obviously they're going to have the same face. So yeah, it will be pretty cool. But if it's going to be like the massive thing they're building up to, then it's not going to be a very good scene because it's going to be shoved in your face left, right, and center. Then a much bigger Twitter scooper said it, and then everyone believed it, but didn't really believe the other one, which is kind of weird. Look, I know a lot of people here want him to be Reed Richards' nemesis, and I'm sure they'll still be rivals, but we've seen enough of their relationship already in the other three Fantastic Four films. Okay, side note, that doesn't really matter. That's got nothing to do with the MCU. And from a storytelling perspective, once they cast RDJ as Doom, it has to be Peter, who has the strongest emotional connection to him because he looks like his dead mentor. Okay, but realistically, both of these scoopers could just be guessing here because it would make sense to get them on screen together. They've got a lot of cool chemistry together. Doesn't actually mean this is real. You know me. You know I'm real. You know I keep it 100 with you guys. This could be made up. Might not be made up. We don't know. It went on to say Tony had a deeper connection ties and more meaningful interactions with Peter. That's it for War Machine and Pepper. Then you've basically just contradicted what you've literally just said. Jeez, lad, make it make freaking sense. But they are likely to have smaller roles than Peter in the Avengers films. So from a narrative standpoint, it would be a failure not to put these two at the forefront facing off against each other. The only problem here is Doctor Doom is going to body Spider-Man. That's the only problem here. So whether this is actually real or whether it's fan information from a big source, is credible. But said Null wasn't going to be in Venom 3, yet Null is literally in the trailer. So that makes sense. I know scoopers get stuff wrong. I know scoopers get stuff right. But this just seems like the obvious thing for Sony and Marvel to want to do in order to get more interaction and to hype people up more. Because, you put Spider-Man in something and you'll obviously get a lot more traffic. And it's kind of obvious realistically. So is this true? We don't know. But we do know there has been Reddit leaks for literal years saying that Spider-Man would be the lead of Avengers. Well, back when it was Kang's Dynasty, they said Spider-Man would be lead. So I don't know whether to actually believe it or whether it's just people throwing information out for the sake of throwing it out. So what is interesting is apparent new information has come out from the deal with Sony and Marvel. So the new requirement for the Sony X Marvel project has to be the following: a minimum budget of $75 million US, having a minimum of 2,000 US theatrical screenings. Okay, I don't know if that's a lot. and also some new information about the characters and villains. Sony will now start notifying Marvel Studios about their uses of Spider-Man related villains in their projects. Marvel will be blocked from using their villains and characters until the film hits VOD release. So yes, Kraven can appear in it. So basically anyone can appear in the MCU as long as said movie is out on VOD, which is a cool thing, but it doesn't really give you much detail. It doesn't really give you much more context of the validity of who can appear. So it does seem like, yes, Null could appear in the MCU. We know he appears in the Sony Spider-Verse, but we know the ending of Venom 3 is supposed to set up Tom Hardy Venom going across the MCU, going like, yo, lad, Null is the symbiote god called Null, and he's gonna body me, so I need your help, bro. But we know if they're going to follow the comic books, then we're going to need a cosmic level Venom. So it does look like maybe they're setting up Null to be like one of the other villains going into Avengers Secret Wars. Is it just going to be based around Doctor Doom? Most likely not. They're not paying RDJ all that money to have him be a side character, but they're not setting up Null for fun. There is people thinking that they're going to reboot the Sony Spider-Verse after Avengers Secret Wars with Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige's help. I mean, maybe they might do that, but it is cool that if this information is true, I think this is guesswork, really. But I did come across it on social media, on Twitter today, and I did want to cover it because it would be cool, and it's going to be cool when Spider-Man meets, you know, Doctor Doom because of the whole face thing. But once they've done it once, it's not really going to have the impactful emotional connection there. It will literally be a one and done scene. So it could be nonsense, but you know, one scooper said it, a bigger scooper copied him. We don't know who's actually true, but it is cool. It is cool. There's information going around from credible sources saying that Spider-Man 4 will shoot next year. But we've already heard that from Alex Perez ages ago. So it's just other people spouting out pretty much the same information. So there is quite a few new bits here and there that may be true, may not be true. I mean, we've always said that Doctor Doom essentially has to body God Loki or Atlantis to take over the multiverse properly. But there's new information going around. Doctor Doom wants to take 10 rings away from Shang-Chi. Okay, bro, interesting. Doctor Doom's also going to want Kamala Khan's bangles from, you know, both the bangles as well. He's going to need all the pieces of the puzzle. So that's probably something you're going to see going around social media in the next 2-3 days or so. That it's a scoop, it's exclusive. I mean, it's just guesswork, realistically. In order for Doom to take over the multiverse, he's going to need 10 rings. He's going to need the bangles, respectfully. He's probably going to have a fight with Loki because Loki's holding, you know, something together. Realistically, this is all guesswork, but it's interesting for creators and YouTubers to speculate based on what apparent scoops to see, is it real? If it's not real, and you're going to hear information saying Miss Minutes will return in the MCU in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Cool story, bro. Loki's probably going to return. You could literally guess a lot of this stuff. It's too early to actually have confirmation, affirmation, and real information, but you know how the internet works. If you got a following and you say something, people are going to believe you. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.